Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of Seb's SMS as usual, guys. Yes, I'm sending you a good message today, an angry message. You better catch it.
Sebastian Baton is now very much the Anglophile.
Send SMS. I'm sending you a message. You better catch it.
But when it comes to the football,
What's happening, my people? What's happening? Tell me, talk to me. I hope you're well. Honestly, I'm great. I'm happy to be there. Saturday morning session, another day, another week, another occasion to be brilliant and to go to improve, to have growth within our life. So what's happening? My week was good. Tell me about your week. Comment down and stuff like that. Just like, be there, be committed. Last week I told you we were going to talk about the emotions, right? And today I'm happy, but today I want to talk about anger. Yes, anger. That emotion that is a good thing or a bad thing for a lot of people. As I told you last week, you can use an emotion for a different type of thing. There's no good or bad emotion. It's what you make of it. It's how you're using it. So an emotion, remember, just for you, quick one, is something that goes up really quick and down. It doesn't last long. But what you gotta understand now, in the process of the emotion and the management of emotion, there's the trigger. There's something that's gonna trigger your anger, right? There's always something. And I've asked you last week, guys, try to identify what triggers your emotion. What does trigger your anger? Trust me, I was very angry. Then there's the refractory period. That period when you don't think straight. And this has been proven. There's a time frame where you're so angry that your way to see the world, your value. A lot of things will usually make sense don't make sense no more. You can't think straight. This is what I call the crazy period, the refractory period. It goes against everything you had in your mind. We want to make sure that period is the shortest as possible, because as the bigger the period is, the bigger the consequences, the destructive consequences could be. And that's the thing. And then that's where you got the last period when you come back to yourself, to your senses, and when everything started to make sense again. So you might not do some crazy thing. So when you're angry like that, it could be very destructive. I was like that, let me tell you. I had to work hard to really realize, because at some point I was really angry. I was fighting a lot. That was the consequences. I could have used that anger. I was fighting and I was very, very violent. And from that anger, I had to break it down. When you're angry, the emotion, you got a mood, right? What's the mood? You're like, you're very on edge. You're on edge, you're very touchy. You can snap. That's the mood you're in. That should make you realize, okay, I'm very snappy. So I might tend to be very angry at the moment. It's not a problem. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you can acknowledge and notice that, okay, I'm snappy. Then from being in your mood there's a character style or trait who comes up, which is becoming very hostile. Yes, hostile. The mood is snappy, and then you turn into being very hostile, aggressive. That's another indicator that you're angry. There's signal coming to me. And then there's a kind of what I call trouble. The trouble is the violence. That's how it could escalate from being snappy, turning to being hostile, then becoming violent. The reason why you gotta acknowledge that is on the pitch or outside the pitch, it happens all the time. I was very adamant with the fact that fairness. I don't like when people take the piss. When people take the piss, that makes me angry, because for me that's a disrespect to my values, because I respect people. But if you take me for a fool, at some point that was gonna get me angry. Don't get me wrong, we all have different reasons, but for you on the pitch at some point, with your manager, with your teammates, with your agent, or even whoever, with yourself, you gotta be able to acknowledge what triggers you. Once you do that, you see the sign coming, because what we want or what we don't want things to, your anger to escalate. When it does escalate, at some point it's going to be out of control, and you might be doing some stuff that you don't want to do, and then that you will regret, because your refractory period is going to be too big. I remember one day, William? He had a ball. We played Chelsea. I played Chelsea, and I just barged him out the way. Boom, he goes down on the floor, and I'm just close to him, and he got the ball, and he threw the ball straight into my face like that, a yard away. I swear to God, my anger went like I was gonna give him one or something. But what happened is I had time to really quickly, because I became master of that, really realize, hey, you're angry, quick, calm down. If I punch him back, I had to deal with the consequences. I'll be sent off, I'll be suspended for many games just because of my emotion. That's what I want you to do. That's what I want you to do, to be able to recognize, okay, what kind of emotion quick, because an emotion goes quick. You shouldn't let your anger like do you some type of way, right? Because it's yours, you're in control. The better, the best, the quicker you understand what is anger, how does it happen with you, because it might be happening to you in a different way than it's happening to me. And that's what I want you to do. Please, today guys, this is the challenge. Recognize what makes you angry. Write it down, right? This is what I want you to do. What kind of situation, what triggers you, what triggers that anger. Once you acknowledge that, you see that coming. So when you get yourself in such a situation, you know that, okay, careful, there's a sign coming. It might get me, a little bit angry, and you don't want to deal with the consequences. You want to shorten your refractory period. That's the key. Shorten that period. Then you'll come back to your senses quickly, and then you'll be better. So, and people will look at you like, wow, how does he do that? You can't shake him because you're in control. You don't survive, you live. And I want you to live and not survive. All right, guys? So that's my challenge of the day. Write down what makes you angry. Nothing wrong by being angry, as long as you can express it. You gotta express your anger. Don't be scared. Express it, because you don't want to hold it inside and then it's gonna escalate, it's gonna burn inside you, and then all of a sudden you're just gonna burst and nobody's gonna understand why. And that's the same on the pitch. When you keep things in, and then all of a sudden they come out and nobody understands. Remember, the emotion are the base of the human relationship. It's based on emotion, but you gotta make sure people understand, and you gotta make sure you understand yourself. Then you'll be the best on the pitch. Trust me. Because if you can master your anger and all the other emotions we're gonna talk about in the next couple of weeks, guys, you'll kill the game. So control your anger, acknowledge it, write down what makes you angry. When you get on that green rectangle, you know what's happening, you know the drill. That belongs to you, nobody else. The fact that you're working on your emotion belongs to you, because you know where you want to go. Don't let anybody else put a hand on it. That's yours, that belongs to you, guys. So right, so the power, the anger, the joy, the fear, the self-control, the success, we don't only take it, guys, we snatch it, guys. All right, we snatch it. That was your homeboy Seb Basongena, aka Baby Bass, here to serve you. Have a tremendous game. I'll see you next week. Be strong. One love. Bye bye.